Hey guys, Lee here, creator of SmartCheatSheet. I'm going to give you a quick run through of how this tool works. So we're going to start here at the home page. You can click the Get Started button at the top right. It'll take you to the setup page. It'll ask you to log in, give it a valid email address and password. You can see here that I've created some other cheat sheets in the past. You can load those or you can create a new one. I'm going to create a new one. So here we have the league name, the team name, how many teams. We're going to go with 10. What draft pick do we have? We're going to say third. Roster settings, these are the defaults. We'll leave them. Scoring settings, these are the defaults, ESPN defaults. We're going to up the points per reception to half a point just to make the receivers valuable. And then we're going to click generate. And it'll take a little bit. It's scraping from the web. All right, so here's our cheat sheet. The initial rankings are actually an average of average draft positions pulled from 5 different sources. Those sources, if we click this here, are Yahoo, ESPN, CBS, Fantasy Football Calculator, and NFL. So the average draft positions of all those put together is how we get these rankings right here. So right now we're in draft mode. If we want to change the cheat sheet, we move to edit rankings mode, which is up here, and click that. So now we have these up and down arrows, these tier buttons over here on the right, and we can change things around. So I think that Calvin Johnson is the 5th best fantasy player this year. So I'm going to move him up one. Just click the up arrow. And then I think there's 4 elite players in this draft. So we're going to put a tier right after him. Now we are on the overall tab. We can move to quarterback if we want to just do positional. So if we want to do a tier, say these are the top 3 elite guys. Everybody knows that. Let's put a tier there. And then let's put a tier after luck. And then let's move RG3 up above Cam Newton. There. And you can do that, for every position. Some things that are helpful, some data. The rank here is their positional rank. If you go to the overall tab, it's their overall rank. The player name, you can click it and get their last 3 years of stats. And then you can also view their profile on RotoWorld. Make sure they're not injured or anything. Team, position, average draft position. This is strength of schedule, and this is for that position. So LaShawn McCoy has the 4th easiest strength of schedule for running backs. So that's very helpful. Bye weeks, even though I would say disregard bye weeks in your fantasy draft. Some people like them. Fantasy points for 2013, 2012, 2011. And these are points using your league settings. So that's helpful. Age, experience, the amount of games played in the last 3 years. Red is under 75%, I believe. And then you can insert a tier. So those are the basics for rankings mode. So let's say our rankings are done. We're going to go back to draft mode and we're going to start our draft. Okay. So let's go to overall. All right, let's say the draft is started. The first player is not you. Takes LaShawn McCoy. You can see it crosses them out. If you don't want to see him anymore because he's gone, you can click this button and it'll hide him. I like to keep him up there though so I can see where the people fit in. Before we go any further onto the next pick, another feature we have is highlighting. So you can highlight a player like Jordy Nelson this year. So I'm going to make sure that I don't forget about him. Let's pick another guy. Let's go Bishop Sankey, another guy I like. And then another couple columns that are in the draft mode that aren't in the rankings mode the steal reach number. So this is the difference between the player's average draft position and the current pick that they're at. So you can see, say you drafted Jimmy Graham right now with the second pick, that would be a reach of 7.2 picks because he's going at pick 9 about. So that's helpful to see where you can get good value. And then this PRV column, you can read the info right there. It's basically a value-based drafting metric to assess value for that position. So we can see that Jamal Charles, the second-ranked running back, is worth 155 points more than the worst starting running back in your fantasy league. That's how that works. If you want a more in-depth explanation, which I would recommend because it's a little more complicated than that, check out the positional rank value tab, table and graph over here. It explains it a lot better. It's actually a very helpful metric. So back to the draft. Let's say the second player takes Charles, and boom, we're on the clock. So who are we going to take? Let's be conventional and take Adrian Peterson. Draft to my team. Takes him out of the pool. And if we want to view our team, you can click this button. That brings up your team, Charlie Murphy's. A couple final things. If we want to reset the draft, say we were just practicing there, click this and this will bring everybody back into the pool. Set the draft picks back to 1. If you want, say you created this cheat sheet a couple weeks ago and you want to refresh the ADP data to see where guys are going right now, click that button and that should refresh the data for you. And then I believe the last feature, show and hide columns. If you want to get rid of a couple columns that you don't care about, you can do that. I personally get rid of bye weeks. And then print, which just makes it pretty for the printer. So that is Smart Cheat Sheet. We have a lot of features that are coming down the pipeline. You can check those out at feedback and support. It tells you what's coming up, what we've done. Drop us a line, tell us if something's happening, something's wrong. If you want something added, let us know. We'll get back to you. All right. Thanks for visiting the site.